Hey everybody, welcome to RefTime, powered by RTS and produced by Coraggio Media. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Crane. We'll be covering rules, plays, points of emphasis, and all things official. All right, welcome back everybody. It's Crane and Tanya. RefTime, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You got that smile on your face like you don't know what I'm up to.
I don't know what you're up to, and I don't like it.
Well, you're going to like it. You know, our agenda that we normally follow is, I got to pull it up here. You came up with it and I liked it.
Right. We have our first quarter.
Yeah, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. And today we're going to include volleyball, so we're going to have to move from quarters to matches.
Right.
And
no, not matches, sets.
Sets within the match.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So first thing I have for you is following kind of our agenda. She doesn't know what I'm up to. Where are we since we started in October of 2022?
Since we started what?
Podcasting. So how has our podcast grown? And then how have we grown professionally as well as individually? That's a question all day I've been burning to ask you those questions and catch you off guard like this so the public will see you sweat just a little bit.
So how have we grown?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, obviously, we have had a number of officials, coaches, people that are affiliated with basketball in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
We've interviewed quite a few people. We've got some really good content. We have released now, I believe, 15 episodes as of this morning. And we still have more
this
people. This morning was Dan Martin.
Dan Martin, who came through RTS.
Yes.
Okay.
And we, we continually invite people on the show. We've actually got a few people that are calling us now saying, hey, when can I get on the show? So that's really nice.
That's refreshing.
Yeah.
Because we've worked hard to get there.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the thing is, the reality is that we're not doing this show to embarrass anybody. We're not putting anybody on, to call them out. We're not doing any of that. What we're, I think a lot of our focus is, hey, we're human. As officials, we're human. I'm not just, on the court in stripes or in a white shirt, doing volleyball. We are out here. We have lives. We have children of our own. We have spouses. We have full-time jobs. There are careers. And so that officiating is something that we enjoy doing. It's for the most part. Yes. Do you have officials out there that are just in it for the money? Yes. Yes, you do. But a lot of us that take it seriously, that are in, the high school ranks or in the collegiate levels, we take it more serious. We're in the rule books. We have meetings and we discuss the rules amongst each other to try to get better. We watch plays. We watch the mistakes that we make ourselves so that we can learn and do better for the next time.
So one of the questions I asked was, how have we grown as a podcast and how have we grown professionally? And then also I asked how we've grown personally. And I did that on purpose because, as people can tell, you've grown. Well, I know you've grown quite a bit because I remember when we first came up with this concept, you were looking at me like, no, why are you throwing this extra on me? And now I catch you off guard with that question and you just sailed right on in there and talked for, I don't know how long. You're always timing me, so I have to time you on this. I think 6 minutes or something.
I don't think it was quite 6 minutes.
Okay. So how would you say we've grown professionally since the podcast has begun?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
Well, one other question I'm going to throw on you, you can think about that, is we started our podcast. You remember the date? I got the date. Our first date.
You said October of 22.
It was October 10th of 2022.
10/10.
Yeah, so what else is significant about 10/10 for us, October 10th?
Well, October 10th of 2010, you started a youth program, and we were on our way to our first meeting, and I was in the passenger seat. You were driving. You were all nervous and all irritable and everything. And I said, hey, what's the date today? And you were like, I don't know, October 10th, I guess. Yeah. I said, yeah, October 10th of what year are we in? And you just looked at me and you were like...
You were really getting on my nerves with that. I was focused on the meeting, and you were trying to bother me about a date.
But it was significant to us.
It was.
And so at the time, 10, 10, 10, because we were focused on...
at that time,
things
building...
like the 10 Commandments. That was one
Right.
of the big things that we were emphasizing with the youth group was...
Right. When I founded it, the name of the youth group is All Things Possible Teenpreneurs, and it's based on the number 10. We teach the 10 Commandments. We had 10 business building blocks. They had 10
money pockets.
Money pockets that they put their money into as they earned it.
Right.
And the whole premise of ATP is to basically teach kids how to think, behave, and get paid like entrepreneurs.
Correct.
And over time, we want to infuse that into the rest of the ecosystem we're building too, which the podcast is part of that ecosystem.
Correct.
But yeah, so you passed that test on what the other significant date was. And that's our 10-10-10. I'm sorry, 10-10-2022 is actually the 12th anniversary of ATP. And we started this on the 12th anniversary of ATP.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that. And how we've grown as a team. How would you say we've grown as a team? In the podcast.
I mean, we've always kind of bounced ideas off of each other really well. Communication. I mean, I give you a look and like, okay, I got to stop talking,
Like I'm looking at you right now?
You asked a question. I'm answering the question. You want me to stop talking? I'm good.
No, please do your thing.
So are we ready to go into our volleyball information?
Oh, no, don't try to play it off. You were in a thought. Keep going. Finish your thought, lady friend.
Now you've distracted me. I've told you about that.
I didn't distract you. I just asked. I just looked at you. And then another question I has, besides RTS, what profession are you in? Because that's what we ask people in our normal is.
What profession am I in?
What's your profession?
Man,
I thought that was going to be a trick question.
That's so random. So,
and just to let everybody know, she was not prepared for any of this.
So, what profession? So I am obviously I'm an official, basketball and volleyball officiating. I also do line judging for the collegiate level volleyball. I am a wheelchair basketball official. I'm getting there.
Okay, I was just showing it.
But I'm still new at that. So
you always
all
say that.
you
You've been doing
wheelchair
that well over
players,
a year.
give me a break.
You've been doing that for almost 2 years.
No, I've only done three different tournaments.
But you've been around it for 2 years.
Not that much, and it's
a year and a half.
It's so far in between where I'm doing a game and then I'm off for 3 months and then I got to go out there and relearn.
Yeah, but at the same time,
we need a training.
We're working on that. But we've done able-bodied basketball.
Correct.
For well over 15, almost 20 years, almost 30 years. So you and I both know that there's a lot of similarity between able-bodied and wheelchair, but then there's a lot of differences as well.
Correct.
So that's probably why when you get out there on the court, you may not feel totally competent, but you still do a decently competent job.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but I still feel, I want to be good.
As Jake said, the coaches want us to be coming into the game at 100% and get better from there.
And I, and I don't. I know that I'm not 100% when I walk out on the court in
Right.
wheelchair basketball. Let's be, specific
Whatever.
in wheelchair.
So what are your career highlights?
I'm not done. I didn't finish telling you
you're
what
done
what my
I'm timing you.
No,
You're
because
done.
I am also a trainer, a recruiter and a trainer. I try to let him do most of the recruiting.
I was going to say, I thought I did most of the recruiting and the training.
But I talked to quite a few.
I knew that would stop you.
Let's hold up, bro.
I trained yesterday solo. You
Hold
and Sydney
up, bro.
running up and down the highways, having a good time as you guys always do, going off to a pro-am training camp so Sydney can get into the NBA. And okay.
So
anyway,
so we, we did come back from a camp and it was a really good time. But recruiting, training. I am also We started a new business venture. So I don't know what my title is with that because I feel like I did almost everything.
But it's related to officiating.
It is. So we started a Hoosier 3-on-3 tournament and leagues.
3-on-3 basketball.
3-on-3 basketball.
We had a very successful tournament.
We did, and it was
recently at Turnstone.
Yep, it was really nice.
Really well. And then now we have the league coming up. I guess I was gonna make that announcement later, but since you forced my hand, so I got to make that announcement now.
Okay.
So the Hoosier, don't time me. The Hoosier 3-on-3 league is coming up. It'll be our first league. Will be at Harlan. It's called Harlan Back to School League. It'll be at the Christian Community Center of Harlan. You got to look that address up. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's on the backside. Okay.
12616 Spencerville Road, Harlan, right. Indiana 46743. But you can get all that information
if you just go online
Hoosier3on3.com.
Yeah, and so you'll be seeing more of that out and about. But wanted to make sure we mentioned that. And then our last point.
So you asked me another question, and I didn't answer that question.
Yeah, your career highlights.
My career highlights.
Were you finished talking about and the reason I asked the profession is because a lot of people ask us what we do. I get the question sometimes, and people will say, is officiating all you do? And I look at them and go, well, it's primarily everything we do is centered around officiating.
Yeah.
And then they say, just basketball? No, not just basketball. And with RTS, we're about to break out into other sports besides able-bodied ball, wheelchair basketball, and volleyball and line judging, college volleyball. We also want to break out into, we've been approached by people who officiate baseball, been approached by people who do football. Swimming, diving. So, and then today I was online looking at some, I don't know how to pronounce it, Boccia. It's Boccia.
Yes, but then there's another version, and it's spelled Bocce, I believe. And so they're similar.
Right.
So I don't know enough about it, but I know that I know that they do it at Turnstone.
And I looked up, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Boccia. I looked it up. It's
because I thought I heard someone say bocce.
It might be bocce. When I looked it up, I just saw a lot of pictures, and it showed people, and it said some people with severe impairments. So I saw people who were in power chairs, and they had some action shots. You saw a guy, he's rolling that ball, trying to hit something, and the email came out from Turnstone that they're looking to do a training on that.
Nice.
So, and we'll be talking to them about doing wheelchair basketball training. But yeah, there's just a lot of, and I think what we've discovered, one thing I think the area we've grown in is we've discovered there's so much available in the world of officiating.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't realize that you can actually get into officiating in multiple sports, 1 or 2 sports, whatever you want to do. And you guys got to understand, for us and for many officials, especially when you're doing high school and below, it is extra income or part-time income or full-time income, and not just income, but it's interest or vocation.
There's so many other avenues you can go after in the world of sports. I mean, if you just want to be around the game, you love volleyball, you love basketball, you love football, whatever. We have a need in so many areas. Officiating obviously is a primary one because without officials, I mean, you're just playing recess.
I'm talking to a lady the other day about
I'm not
that.
done. But they also have, we have a need for scorekeepers, for clock keepers, for shot clocks. I mean, there's so many things that you can get involved with, and depending on the level, obviously depends on whether you can get paid for it. But if your kid is in high school, volunteer to help out. Keep clock. Line judge. I mean, we do. If you got questions, you want to get better at line judging, you want to help out. I mean, we'd be more than willing to help out with some training tips. First of all, make sure you wear tennis shoes if you're going to line judge, because if you're in boots or open-toed shoes and a ball comes flying at you or a kid comes flying at you, you want to be able to get out of the way. That's a small thing right there. So tennis shoes are highly recommended when you're line judging. But yes.
You wouldn't advise stilettos?
Probably not. No, okay. No.
Just wondered.
Anything with a heel, no.
I don't
I
do
wouldn't.
stilettos, but I just wondered how they
I
ought to
don't
move
know.
in.
I think I've seen you in some before.
No, you have not. No, you have not.
All right, so you had a person approach you the other day.
It was recent. This is over the weekend. I was talking to a lady about officiating, and she was talking to me. What was it? She was asking me about what we do, and I remember who it was now. She was saying that in officiating there's this stigma, and she wasn't trying to be insulting, but she was just saying, she said, I would think there's this stigma about officiating where, a lot of kids just, they want to play the sport. And I said, I get that. I said, but what about the kids that want to play on continuum level? And she goes, or want to participate in continuum level. And she goes, yeah, but that's limited. I said, no, it's not. And she goes, yeah, Crane, there's only so many teams. We was talking about her son. She said, there's only so many players on a basketball team and only so many teams in the NBA if they want to go that far. I said, correct. She goes, well, I don't understand what you mean. I said, there are so many ways a person could participate. I said, I didn't say play. I said participate in sports. Mm-hmm. She goes, what's the difference? I said, I'm an official. I'm a participant. And she goes, wow, you're right. Most people don't think of it like that. I said, you can be an official. You can be a reporter. Our daughter-in-law is a reporter in the G League. Mm-hmm. Reggie's a scout in the G League. I'm like,
no, he's a scout for the NBA.
Right. So I'm sorry, scout for. He used to play in the G League. Yes. Now he's a scout for the NBA. I guess there's so many positions that a person can serve
that
in.
higher level. I mean, they've got people that sit there and print off the stats.
Right.
They got people that are taking the stats.
Runners.
They've got you've got
announcers.
You've got student coaches. You've got the potential to be a coach. You've got managers.
The medical side.
You got the medical side. There's so many things that you can do. Clock keeper, score keeper.
Yeah, a typical NBA team or a typical professional team probably has a staff of 50 people or more?
Probably more than that.
They usually have, 4, 5, or 6 coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you got the medical staff. Like you said, they have a statistician.
Yep.
You got the ball people. You got the people who take care of clothes. There's just so many things. I think people think, as humans, we think so limited when it comes to the opportunities of a career connected to sports. So moving on, the rules. We want to jump into that because you and I were talking about the new rules that have come out for volleyball as well as basketball.
So volleyball season is upon us.
And you are the new chairperson for volleyball for Lime City.
I am. And Lime City is the Huntington area.
So on that note, what kind of, what's your, I know you've talked to a couple other people who are chair people, so as though we don't have enough roles to fulfill already.
Right.
You've taken that on. And I think somebody asked you to consider that. So, and that, I just want to go back on that point for a moment because we've talked a lot about, and you and I focus a lot on getting blacks and females involved in the officiating side of sports. So, given your reputation, given your notoriety as an official, someone came to you and asked you to take over the chairperson position for a particular sport. How does that make you feel knowing that there's so many males in the industry of sports that don't always give women the benefit of the doubt as leaders? And connected to that question, the person that asked you to consider, were they male or female?
The person that asked me is female. I was honored. To start off with, because I had actually, I was interested a couple years ago when our association in the Northeast area became available. And so I, missed out on that opportunity for whatever reason. And I'm okay with that. I mean, we've got a great chairperson. So he does a great job. And
that's John Rodewald.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Does a great job. He's a great official.
We got to get John on.
Yes, we do. And so then, a couple months ago, I was approached with the opportunity to become the chairperson for Lime City. And I had already known that my answer was going to be yes, but, I decided to, talk to you about it because I already knew he was going to be like, you need to do it. And I was like, yeah, I know.
You had already made your decision before you came to me.
But I already knew what you were going to say. Even if I wanted to say no, you would have been like, you need to do it. So I already knew I had to say yes. But
you didn't have to say yes. It just would have been very, very painful had you not.
Whatever.
Because I'm bigger than you.
So So there was a learning curve because I had to learn how to post information, and I got to hold so many meetings. So many of them have to be in person. You can have a couple of them on Zoom. I don't prefer Zoom because I know me, and I don't pay attention a lot of times on Zoom. So, I feel like these meetings are supposed to be educational, and we're supposed to grow as an official. It's not just a check mark, saying, hey, I attended. I'm checking the box so I can apply for tournament. I feel like we are supposed to, grow as officials, learn. We're supposed to use the proper mechanics. We're supposed to, take it serious.
And I just want to break in one quick moment. When you talked about we're supposed to grow as officials, when you mentioned John Rodewald, the first thing went through my mind is I could learn from somebody like him because he's not
cocky.
Right. That's one word. He's not cocky, and he's not over aggressive. He's got a humility about himself. Even though he's a leader, he's a servant leader. He will serve people in order to lead. Yeah. And I think that is a missing ingredient in a lot of leaders involved in sports, in the officiating world of sports.
And that's something, Jake Linder, who's been on our show before.
He is a servant leader. He
is the chairperson for the basketball in the Northeast Indiana area, and he does a phenomenal job. He's got a video clip that he plays during the meetings so that we can all learn from other people's mistakes, but we can also learn from the good things too. And so I think being a servant, Jake puts himself out there. Like a lot of the video clips that he shows are of himself or of his games. And he's like, look, what do you have on this play?
I should have done this, or I should have done
right.
that. Right.
What should we have done? How is this correctable? Is this da-da-da-da-da? And I think that, as area leaders, we have to put ourselves out there first because as a leader, people are looking at us like, oh, you don't make mistakes? Oh, you're just going to show my mistake. You're going to talk about my mistake, but you ain't going to talk about your mistake. And I'm thinking, I know you made the highlight reel last year, I believe.
I knew you were going to call me out like that.
In basketball.
You call out my mistakes
No. I'm just saying, I think it's phenomenal because, like I said, Jake normally puts himself out there. Right. But then here and there, he will say, okay, look at this, And
I didn't mind him putting me out there because I learned a lot.
Because he put me out there too.
Yeah.
He tried to put me out there, and I was like, no, hold up, Jake. No, pay attention, because he thought I had the wrong free throw shooter go to the line, and I was like, no, go back, let's watch it again. And so I was excited that even though he was trying to call me out, I was like, oh, thank God I didn't mess that up, because it was it's very easy to get the wrong free throw shooter. Sometimes.
So do you think with officiating that, like Jake said, a lot of coaches want us to be 100% perfect, and then they want us to
get better from there.
I love that statement. So do you think that in the officiating world, amongst us as officials, we ourselves hold each other to an impossible level, hold ourselves to a level of perfection? Because I noticed how you said when Jake tried to call you out, you're like, no. And I know you do.
Well, no,
try to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make sure that I get it right.
Right.
I know I'm not perfect. But I strive to.
Oh, you're perfect, dear.
I'm perfect for you. But I strive to know the rules. I want to, when I show up, I want to be dressed professionally. I want to make sure that my pants fit right, my shirts are tucked in.
But do you think that we do that partly because we want to make sure that we don't look a certain way of negative in front of our peers? Do you think we do that? I see that in us
probably
sometimes.
some, but I think overall,
I don't know the percentage, but I think we do that.
I think overall, most of us are just, we're there to do a good job, and so
to get better.
And to get better, we hold ourselves to a specific standard. Like, hey, have your stuff tucked in. I mean, we go to. You see it when we go to AAU games and we see guys walking around and their shirts are untucked and they're walking up and down the court.
Bad.
It looks
terrible.
So bad. But then you see other officials, and they've got their stuff tucked in, and they're running, and
they
it's
look
like
professional.
Yeah, it's like even if they jack a call, at least they're hustling down the court. Whereas the guys that are just walking and they're
You know they're going to jack a call.
those are the ones that honestly make us look bad. And it's like, bro, just tuck your stuff in, give a little jog.
Keep it tucked. Yeah, give
a little jog. Don't. So
at least move your arms.
Right. Yeah. You just So it's
so. I know we're running short on time. So what are we going to do about rule changes?
So let's
volleyball?
just talk about volleyball right now, because volleyball season is upon us. We didn't have a lot of rule changes, but we did have a few to talk about. One is our coaching zone. So they have extended that. So it starts at the attack line, and then it extends beyond the end line. So they actually can go to the wall if they want to. Now they can't go in that serving area, but that that extension there. So it used to just be it was from the attack line to the end line. That was their coaching box.
I wonder if that was influenced by college, because when we do college volleyball, you'll find that the players are wrapped.
Now, that's the players. This is talking about the coach.
I know, but I'm saying the players are, they don't sit in college.
Right.
So they're standing up along the end line.
Yeah, and they kind of curve around a little bit.
And sometimes they curve out around. If there's a lot of players, they curve. I know
they're not technically supposed to.
But they do.
Right.
They curve out and they come around even where the service area is. Now, I don't have a problem with that, because to me, it heightens the excitement of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's their own teammates, so it's not like they're over there trying to distract them or anything like that.
Now, women's is different from men's, obviously. In men's volleyball, I noticed they're back there. They're talking to the other team. Oh, they jaw jack. They talk so much trash in men's volleyball. Women's volleyball,
how can they talk to the other team?
They do. They talk to each other. Oh, yeah. They talk to each other a lot.
Not the players on the sideline are with their own team. Their team is on that end.
I know, but I'm saying they're talking across the net to the other team.
Yeah. We're not talking about that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Stay focused.
I am focused. I'm just talking about the way the players wrap around, and I'm wondering if that extension of the coach's box was slightly influenced by just adding to the influence of the game, the ambiance of the game, because like I said, in college, they go down and they wrap around. Now, high school, we don't allow that, but the players...
Right, because the players sit in high school.
They do, for the most part.
No, they are to sit.
Well, I've seen, but I've
seen... In high school volleyball, the players do not get to stand.
I know what the rule says, but I want you to know that I've been to matches where the players sometimes stand a lot more than they're supposed to, and the up official doesn't say anything. Now, me, if I'm the up official, and this is, I think, again, where rules get treated differently depending on the official, and that confuses
the other part of it is, too, depending on that official, they may be used to club volleyball and club
college.
Volleyball.
Right.
Correct, and college. And so in those situations, the players don't have to sit.
Right.
And so they get confused on what they're doing.
Right.
And so they may say, I'm doing high school. Are they supposed to sit? Not supposed to? Yeah, they're supposed to sit in high school. So basically, that's just something minuscule as far as a rule change.
Right. What would you say is a major rule change? Because we only have about 3 minutes. So what would you say is a major rule change this year?
Major. Well, the next rule change is really about jewelry. So in the high school level, it was always no jewelry, period. No Band-Aids, no tape covering jewelry. It was always no jewelry. And now they have changed that ruling to where that it allows small secured stud or post jewelry that can be worn above the chin. So that means they can wear a post or a stud in their nose. They can wear something here in their, their eyebrow. I don't know why anybody wants to. It sounds so painful. But they can also wear small studded, earrings.
And you know what's going to happen? The studs, the pierced, whatever. It's going to turn into hooped.
Well, right now it says no. So
it says no, and you make this point. I know we're running out of time, but you make this point a lot. When it comes to females enforcing that rule, you guys enforce it in a different way than males. We don't wear a lot of that stuff, so a lot of males don't want to mess with it, and they just go, I'm not going to worry about that because I don't want to be fashion policed. I've heard guys say that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Females, I've seen you guys tend to address it more. So how is that going to work?
I think it's different for men. Men feel like it's a confrontational thing.
Well,
for
we
them.
feel also it's invasive.
Yeah,
I feel
so
like I'm
for you to go up
invading
to a girl and be like,
Right.
I'm sorry, but you gotta take that out. I don't know why it's so difficult to go up to somebody and say, hey, that comes, or to go to their coach. Hey, coach, because really that's who we should be going to the coach. Hey, coach,
Again,
number 3 has
has
jewelry in.
I
It needs
think
to come out.
it's difficult for men because we feel like we're invading that young person's.
Okay, but what if they get hurt and now you are
I'm not saying,
named in a lawsuit?
I'm not even going there. I'm just telling you why I think guys
Right.
don't address it.
But I would rather address it and be safe, keep the kids safe versus not addressing it. And
again, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just telling you why guys don't address it. And so it's going to be interesting to see in your association that you're in charge of now how you educate people on that and how they respond to that education. And one final question I have on that. The chairperson who was in place before you, was that a male or a female?
Male.
Have they had any females in Lime City?
I don't know.
Okay. That'd be an interesting, because people are going to receive leaders in different ways. But anyway, we're running out of time. I think we're just about out of time. Any last things you want to catch on the rules?
So one other rule change real quick. I guess apparently when coaches called timeout before, they were always supposed to signal it that they wanted timeout. Now they can actually verbalize it, and so they can just call timeout. I've always acknowledged coaches that say, hey, I want a timeout. Okay, cool.
I've just learned from people I've been mentored by. I'm always watching the coaches. When I see the scores at a place where I anticipate a timeout, I'm just watching them. And I have good eye contact, and the coaches are watching me, and they'll look. It's funny. Sometimes they'll look at me and they'll look at the score and they go, and they'll look away. And I've learned when they look away, they don't want a timeout. So I'll beckon for the serve, and then I'll watch them. And as soon as they get another score against them, they'll look at me and go, they'll just do like that. And I just call it.
Yeah, they give you that little nod like, give it to me.
That's a good thing because that tells me I'm maturing in the sport and I'm learning how to communicate
you're coming
with
along.
I'm coming along. So last
final
thing we want to do.
Final thing real quick, establishes that one assistant coach may stand within the coaching zone to provide instruction to the players during dead ball situations only. So they can only stand up during dead ball situations to instruct their players. And then once we beckon for serve, they've got to go sit back down. The head coach is the only one that can be standing the entire during the match. But they have to be 6 foot away from the playing surface. So once we beckon for that serve, coach has got to back up. So.
All right, great. So we're going to go ahead and check out for the day, but I do want to remind people that if you are interested in learning more about officiating, we would welcome that. There's a heavy need for officials. And RTS, you can go to reftrainingschool.com. That's reftrainingschool.com. Get more information. Also, you can go to Hoosier3on3.com and learn more about our 3-on-3 events that are coming up, as well as it'll connect you to Ref Training School. And anything else you want to tell people about getting in touch or needing something that we're
we've got the next class we have coming up is for volleyball training, and that will start in August. That'll be 4 Sundays in August. So check it out, reftrainingschool.com.
And speaking of October, we have our hoodies. So if you want a Ref Junkie hoodie, we have those available, as well as our long sleeve T-shirts and our long and our short sleeve T-shirts. So
because our summer will be ending sooner than we want it to,
and we want to promote reffing in this area and get more people involved. Come on over to the dark side. So with that, I'll say thank you, and thank you for joining us again. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Take care. Thanks again for listening to RefTime, powered by RefTrainingschool.com and Hoosier3on3.com. Produced by Coraggio Media, RefTime is recorded in WELT Studios in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana.
To join RTS, visit reftrainingschool.com. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time.